Good day. Welcome to the computer literacy video series on which we're going to look at Unit 5, that is Microsoft PowerPoint, a Microsoft Office tool that allows you to create powerful presentations by combining text, audio, graphics, and any other multimedia objects. Okay, so first things first, let's quickly look at the interface. Our interface comprised of this ribbon, which you should have known from the previous units. It's comprised of what we call tabs. I'll just quickly run through this. What you see on top here, these are what we call tabs. And then, of course, you have a quick access toolbar here on top, just to place anything that you might need or that is handy to your presentation. You can place it on the quick access toolbar. And then in each tab, if you click on the home tab, insert tab, design tab, each of those is actually just a logical grouping of different items, as you can see here. Okay, so it's comprised of tabs, and then in each tab you have different groups just to guide you on that. Okay, then for presentations, we are going to make use of what we call slides. If you look at this whole area, this is what we call a slide pane, which will display all the current slide of your presentation. And then, of course, on the left hand side, very important, this is the slides outline, just to allow you to arrange your different slides. You can move them around, you can copy, you can duplicate. We can look at some of those settings later on. Okay, so first things first, how do you then create slides? As you can see on my screen, we have a default slide given as a title slide. Okay, you get different types of slides. If you go here on the home tab, on the slides group, you will have what? New slide. You need to be careful here with these two buttons. This one gives you the new slide here. It gives you the default or the previously used slide. Okay, whereas if you want to have an entirely new slide, then you click on new slide. Okay, then you get the different templates here. We have title slide, title, content, comparison, and so on, or even a blank slide. Okay, so you choose whatever you need to use there. Okay, so like I said, first things first, we are going to create our first slide. I want us to go to this one, the one that is given by default here. Then we name our presentation. We can name it first presentation. Okay. Then it's also very important that you introduce yourself, that this is going to be presented by Mr. H. Namindo. Okay. So that is that. That is the title slide of our presentation. Once you click away, or before we click away, you can actually see that our slides are comprised of simply what? Text boxes. These are simply what? Text boxes. If you click on that, it gives you that text box. That is also inside what? A text box. So basically, you can as well have a blank slide, and then you design your own slide by inserting your own text boxes. I'll show you later where to find the text boxes. Okay, then we move on. It's also very important before you engage with the entire presentation that you notify, or rather specify to the audiences what your presentation is going to be about. So you may go back to new slide. I would like us to use title and content. So let's select title and content, and then you give us an outline. You give an outline of your entire presentation, that today we are going to look at how to do what? How to create slides. Okay, we'll also look at setting style to your slides, that is slide themes. We'll also look at inserting objects into our presentation. Objects. What else? We'll look at what is called transitions and animations. Okay, then we move on to slide show. Very important. Perhaps we'll also look at headers, how to set headers and footers. It's also very vital here. And then most importantly, there is a feature known as the slide master. Okay, I will only give you the basics of presentation, or rather PowerPoint. Okay, so let's suppose that this is our outline for today. Okay, so in creating slides, that is what I basically just highlighted earlier on, that you go to the new slide tab. Be careful, you need to click on the downward pointer. Okay, then you select either of the slides that you want to use here. So in my next slide, I would like to have all this in its own slide. Okay, every item on the outline list to be on its own slide. So how do we do that? You go back to new slide. What type of slide are we looking at? I want to have a content, title and content. You may select it there, or you may just click on the upper button here. It will give you the previously used one. Okay, so this will be creating slides. Okay, as the title on top there. Okay, then you put whatever is pertinent to creating slides, that if you want to create a slide, you go where you do what, you do A, B, C. Okay, so everything is given as a bullet list here. That for that you go to home tab, What do? The next step will be you go to the slides group. The next thing will be you click on what? On new slides. Okay, so whatever instruction you have to give about creating slides, you list it down here. Then you move to the next slide. If you don't want to use the bullet list, we learned formatting, so you may highlight everything. You go back to the home tab, and then you select what from the paragraph group. Then you select what, either bullets or numbers. Okay, so that is all from the previous modules. We're moving on to the next slide. The next slide, based on our outline, can you see how I'm navigating here? I can go to the first slide, I can go to the second one, I can go to the third one. Okay, so you need to be careful now where you insert your new slide. If you select there, it will be inserted right after that, the selected one, the active slide. So you make sure you're on the last one, and then you select what? New slide. Okay, you click here and select any template, or you go directly to what? To new slide. Okay, it will still give me a title and content. And in this, I want to talk about what? Slide themes. Sorry, I have not selected anything, so you need to click inside the text box. Okay, so select the one for the title, and I'm going to talk about what? Slide themes. Okay, which is basically just to say this is adding style. Let me say adding style to your slide. Basically. Okay, just so you have a nice background here. You can actually what? Do different things, or select different themes here and have it look more attractive. Okay, so we'll come to this later on. Then the next slide, just create the next one. I would like to use let's use comparison. Here. I'll set comparison. Okay, then I'll name it transitions and animations. Okay, then you come down here just to make it nice and organized. You have a specific one for transitions, you have another one for animations. Okay, then you move on and explain, you describe what transitions are, which I will call in basic terms as special effects applied to the slide, to the actual slide. We can say actual slide. Okay, so this basically defines how or what style you set to the slide when it enters the screen, when it leaves or exits the screen. We'll look at that in a moment. Okay, then we have animations. I'll just simply copy this and edit. Animations will then be special effects that are applied not to the actual slide but to the actual what? To the actual content. Okay, could be to this text box, it could be to the text, it could be to the to different any different element or graphic or image or whatever you want. So it's to the actual content, not content but content. Okay, so that is the difference between transitions and animations. We move on to the next slide. Remember, this was a comparison slide. So the next one, I would like us to use the title and content. So you go back to new slide, you select what? Title and content, in which we're going to look at what a slide show is, what a slideshow is all about. Okay, yeah, I will demonstrate all that later. Then I go to my next slide. I want the title and content still. I will have headers and footers. Headers and footers. Okay, and then the next one, the last one here, I will have what is it? Slide master as per our outline. And then perhaps we do what? We do a conclusion. We may select another slide which is still title and content, and then we say conclusions, or we just thank the audience for giving us time to listen to our presentation. Okay, so that is basically how you create slides. Okay, I'll see you in the next video to talk about the rest of the items in our outline. Thank you very much.